Every time someone watches your video and then taps on your profile, they're making a decision about you within 3 seconds. And if your bio does not immediately speak to them, you just lost them as a lead. Because no matter how good your content is, or if you even are posting multiple times a day, a bad Instagram bio will always have you losing deals without you even realizing it. So again, in this video, I'm going to walk you through what I call the 3-question bio framework. And what does that look like? Well, it's things like, again, right here, all of our clients have been winning to close deals on Instagram. Over $450 million worth of real estate with nothing but organic content. And by the end, you're going to know exactly what those 3 questions are to answer in your bio, and how, again, answering them in the right way will turn your profile into a conversion mechanism that, again, makes someone want to immediately become a client of yours. And when someone watches your video and then they go to your profile, that person, again, is already interested in you. They didn't accidentally end up looking on your profile. Maybe it was something you said, something that you showed them that made them curious about taking it like the next step further into you, your area. And the only thing standing between a person that's going to either follow you, DM you, is these 4 lines of text. It only takes someone 3 seconds to actually read your bio, and they're still asking a question. Can this agent actually help me? Now, most agents assume that the bio's job is just to show proof, so they write something like, licensed realtor, 200 transactions, I help families. But every single one of those things, yeah, they might be true, but the bio actually needs to make someone stop and immediately think they need to follow you or send you a DM. And a lot of agents who are brand new maybe don't even have any transactions, or they're just a few years in the business. So when you have just a few lines written specifically for one type of person, you can immediately make that person feel like you know exactly what they are going through. Figuring out what those 4 lines are actually going to say comes down to answering who exactly are you trying to talk to. Not just buyers or sellers in my market, but a specific type of person with a specific set of things that's keeping them up at night. Because the language that makes a first-time buyer feel understood is completely different from the language that makes an investor feel understood. And if your bio is trying to speak to both of them, it's probably speaking to, neither one. Like, for example, there's a difference between writing, I help families find homes in the right school zones, versus I help growing families trade cramped rentals for forever homes in the right school zones. The second one uses the exact language a family needs to hear if they feel stuck, if they're in that rental already. And when someone reads words that might sound like their own thoughts, they don't think this agent sounds good. They think that, oh, this agent gets it. They understand where I'm at. So the question now becomes, where do you actually find that language? And by the way, again, if you want my personal help creating like your own customized bio and a whole like content lead generation system for your content, for conversion, the first link in the description is where you can book a one-on-one call with me directly just to see if you're a good fit for what I named the Real Estate Content Academy. I'm the founder of it. And it's my private program where I personally help agents make sure they succeed and scale with content and simple systems. So the 3-question bio framework. So the language that makes your ideal client feel understood isn't something that you can just sit down and invent, because it actually already exists. Your market's been telling you exactly what to write for years. So in the reviews they leave, even other agents on Zillow, Reddit threads about moving to your city, texts that your past clients have received about, questions about the process of it. So some real phrases that real people use is, I don't want any surprises. I feel stuck renting. I didn't know if I was ready. I just needed someone who actually knew the right areas, the right schools. Now, once you actually know what people are talking about, then you can actually find that language to use. And that, again, is all wrapped around the 3-question bio framework. And question 2 is, what can they expect? So this is where you can actually describe your approach in a way that speaks directly to what that specific person is afraid of. So a nervous first-time buyer needs to hear step-by-step process, no surprises. An investor needs to hear cash flow math and deal filters that respect your time. Both are speaking about how you can actually help that person, but one is phrased differently because it depends on what the ideal client wants to hear. So your number 1 rule in your bio that you need to follow is that you need to also have a 35 character limit after an emoji. So right here, you're going to add this up and it's about 35, 36 characters because you need to make sure that your bio, and you need to make sure, who's checking your bio. Like if you have, you're optimizing it, because every phone has different like text. I have a base model iPhone 15. Luckily, that's like the quote unquote average phone most people have. Most people don't have a phone smaller than this nowadays, even if it's older. Because on mobile, which is where most people are reading this, only 4 lines are shown with about, if you include an emoji, about 34 to 36 characters of text before Instagram actually cuts it off and goes like dot, dot, dot more. And people have to physically take an action to, continue reading what they need. So again, once you make sure that your bio fits in these lines, you got to make sure that, it all fits. You're going to see like a night and day difference, especially when you're using content as a lead generation source, because every piece of content that you post is actually working as pipeline directly to those 4 lines of text. So if your bio isn't converting, it doesn't matter how good your content is, you're essentially just filling a bucket with a hole in it. But when your bio is working and the quality of leads and reach outs improves drastically, that they're reaching out now because they're not just curious, they're actually convinced that you are the person that can actually help them. So an agent with a generic bio is just going to get, a message, which honestly is a massive steps, just saying, hey, what will it look like to work with you? What's the price of that home? Versus someone that's saying like, hey, I've actually been following you for a while. I really feel like you understand like exactly what I'm looking for. Because fixing the bio doesn't just bring in more leads, it brings in people who already feel like you are the agent before they've ever spoken to you. So the big thing I want you to walk away with is that your content gets people to, gets them to your profile, and your bio is what makes them actually stay. And if you want my personal help finding out how to build that content like strategy out so that you have everything optimized to bring in like 4 or 5 deals every single month from content, just click the first link in the description where you can actually book a call with me directly, and we'll see if you're a good fit for the Real Estate Content Academy.